Okay, good morning guys. I don't expect that so many are watching this live, but I thought, hey, this is the first brew, and why not stream it live, as I don't have enough of other things to think about. First brew on the new system. I've just heated up the strike water. So far everything looks very good. I'm going to... The first, I thought that I'm just going to do a one-step mash, but then I won't be able to test the HERMS coil for doing the mash steps. So I'm actually doing I think I will have about 5 steps. So I'm striking at 55 and giving it a little rest for about 5 minutes. And then I'm stepping up from 63, 67, 71 and at last 76. So the original recipe that I got from Tony Gates was just a single step, but since this is the first time I'm brewing on this new system, I wanted to test that I'm able to rise the temp during the mash steps. So I'm doing it even harder for me today. So the easy way had been to just run it at 66 something and leave it there for an hour. But what the hell? Let's do it even harder. So I will check into the chat during the day. As all of you know, that's been brewing or are brewers, things are getting quite busy. But there's a lot of waiting too. So I will check into the chat. Short explanation of the system. As most of you have seen on the net, it's a 3 kettle system. So this is the HOT, and this is now maintaining the mash temperature. I've set it at 57. because the test I've done, I got a very small decrease in the temp when I transferred just water from here over to the mash tun. So I've done the standard that the grain will take to the degrees of the temperature when I'm striking. So I've set the HLT to 57. And the grains will then rest for 5 minutes at 55. So it seems like the new PID controller is working very well. What I've done is that I'm using both the temperature sensor in the kettle and also the sensor done on the pump rack. The one on the pump rack is actually the temperature coming out of the kettle in the bottom. So I'm doing an average calculation between those two, and during the testing I saw that gave me the most stable temperature temp control. So as I said, the set value is set to 57, and now I got 57.2 on the output, and I got 56.8 in the middle of the kettle. So, and the average between those are controlling the PID. So far, so good. So I'm wondering about if I've closed the door a little bit here out in the garage. If somebody goes in front of the garage and see me standing in here by myself talking in English. So okay, kind of weird, but all for you guys. So as I mentioned in the description, I'm doing a clone, not a clone, but the recipe for the supercharger, the Paul Wicksteed SuperCharger. I followed Paul on YouTube when he was building his brew house. So I thought, hey, let's do the supercharger to honor Paul. And that will be the first brew in my new brew house. So I think that will be a nice gesture. So I think I'm ready to add some grain and actually start the Brewday. I can see that we are 10 people live here already. So that's more than I hoped for. So yeah, and also when I add the grain, I add the grain directly into the tun without any water. Then I undle it from the bottom. So I put the grain in, and then I transfer the strike water from the HLT using the output port in the mash tun. So I think I'll just crack the mash bag open and let's get rolling. And thanks for hanging out, guys. Also, I'm going to use the SS Brewtech manifold for during the circulation. I will come back to this later. It's just resting on the top of the grain bed. Okay. When I'm done with this system, these steps that I'm going to do now will be done automatically. Opening, closing valves when I go between the steps in the Brewday. But I haven't programmed that yet, so all the things I'm doing now is I have to press the touch screen on the computer. So, but it's semi-auto. So let's go. Then we are ready to do the strike. Now I'm opening the valve right before this one, and what will happen is that the water will go the opposite way in the pump, so it's going actually the other way. But that pump in the for the mash tun is not running; it's stalled. So. I haven't put on the load cells yet, so I can't calculate the volume. But for this one and for the boil kettle, I will have load cells measuring the volume that I'm transferring. So I have to use the scaling in the kettles to stop it. The flow in the new system is very fast, so I'm actually almost ready transferring the strike water. The strike is over, and I now entered the next mash step, which is 63. And I will just give this a rest for 5 minutes now. So we'll see how fast I can get up to the next step. I'm not doing any circulation or whatever now. So just gave it a little stir. So I'm looking into the temperature in the middle of the mash tun, and after I gave it a little stir, I think I will end up about 55, which was the target. It's 52 now and rising. Hey, 13 guys or gals already. This is cool. Thanks, guys. A little explanation of the circulation system. I'm actually having two different circulations because I'm with the new system. I'm trying to be able to heat up the mash, the HLT for the next mash step quicker than before, without including the mash itself. So I've created two paths. One of them is going through the coil in the top and out in the bottom of the coil and back into the kettle to the mash tun. But I also have this one, which will just circulate from the mash tun back into the mash tun. And the plan is, I will just check it out. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's 53 a couple of degrees below them, so it's okay. So I would just take a note of that. I wasn't sure how many degrees I was going to set the strike, because this is an insulated mash tun. So I just take a note of that. Yeah. Yeah. And the plan is to rise the temperature here as fast as possible without including the mash. So I will switch which way during the steps. So when I'm almost up at 63 now, so then I know this is a 20 to 23 liter batch, so it's not that much water, but I still got 70 liters of water inside there, which I'm ramping. So so far this is working very well. So I'm already at my set temperature for my next step. So, and it's about 5 minutes since I gave it this a rest. So that went well. So as soon as that is 63, I will start recirculating to go to step it up to the 63. And I think I'm good there. So then I open the valve, but I'm now going to use this. I'm doing this path now. So I need to open this valve, which is down on the pump, and the one for the recirculate. Sorry, I'm ramping it. So it's, that one is open, there, that, and the top. You can see something happening in the sight glass. And there we go. And I'm using two different what should I say? The manifold for this path, and the four-laugh, SS Brewtech four-laugh for this part. So I don't have to switch anything. Yeah. I've just got a comment that I should have a kettle cam. I will have it. This is just a test to see if the live is it's working. The plan was to. I just have to check out the temperatures. The plan was to record and edit a YouTube video for this Brewday, but then I thought I will have enough things to think about than starting and stopping the cameras. So that's the live stream. So the plan is I'm using open broadcast system. It's a open source thingy. So it seems like it's working very good, and I think the quality is quite good too. So I'm if this is going good all day, I'm adding more cameras next time, and maybe some I can share the desktop of the PLS, so we can see the control panel and the temperature, the temps and things. So yeah, so far guys, working pretty good. The temp for the mash is already raising, so the HLT and the HERMS and the pit seems to work okay. This is cool. Damn. I'm quite curious how the new mash tun will work because of the insulation. The plan, I hope that I'm able to maintain the temp while recirculating just out of the kettle and back into the kettle. When I'm ramping for the next step in the HLT. It is a possibility to remove a lid underneath and install a heat pad from Brewtech. If I'm not able to maintain the temp during the mash steps, I will add that one, and of course I will control it using the PLS. But today I'm testing it just with circulation, and hoping that the tun itself will maintain the temp. So, but that will be. I'm already up at. Let's see. 60.4 in the middle of the mash, so it's rising quite good. I can also see that the temp both the sensors in the HLT are about 63.2 in the middle and 63.7 which for the water coming out of it. And the one that is coming out of it, it's of course hotter because of the elements. I got two elements for 3,500 watts each, so 7,000 watts inside the HLT. And I think that's the reason that I'm able to ramping it so fast and maintain the temperature as good as I'm doing. 61.2 in the mash now. So so far this is quite good. One of the things I'm just going to answer Frode here. Yeah, Frode asked me about the manometers. These need to be in level. If the pressure changes, and that happens if we are closing into a stuck mash, the grain bed is getting stuck. I will see it here. So yeah, just keeping in the eye on the temperature. It's kind of odd, not odd, but strange standing in here and talking English. But I guess I'll get used to it, and I'm not able to do the editing, so you get the raw part. So bear with me if I sound like Petter Solberg sometimes. That is watching. Yeah. I did some last minute changes, and not changes, but I didn't have the exhaust for the ventilation up yesterday, so finally it stopped raining, so I was able to cut a hole in the roof here in the garage. So all the pipes are up, the ventilation are working. I also did the last minute layout on the control panel. So it's not the stream stopping. I'm just stopped and are thinking. I'm almost at 63, which is my next step. I've been thinking that I'm maybe are going to include the sensor in the mash tun for the control of the pid when I'm doing the mash, just adding it as a third sensor into the average calculation, which are controlling the pid. I'm not sure about it yet. I will see how things are working out with just controlling using the sensors in the HLT. So far, things are looking good. I don't want to overshoot the HLT, so that's the reason that I'm a little doubt about including the mesh sensor. But I think I will be able to get faster into the right temp for the mash step if I run it a bit hotter. But so far it shouldn't be necessary. So I'm at 62.5 now in the middle of the mash. And as I mentioned, it was I'm almost reached the next step. So one of the things I'm not finished with is the timer. So I've had one made yesterday, but I thought that I'm just using the phone, so I moved it away from the screen. So, but I'm using just the phone for now to do the steps. And when I reach the next step, I will hold it for 20 minutes. So I've set the timer. We're not there yet. And also, when we have reached it, I'm going to change the flow. So we circulate using this one, and I will ramp this to the next step already. So during that 20 minutes, this one should be ready to swap it back again, to go for the next one. So in theory, that sounded like a good idea, and it's actually looking good. So I have to say a little thank you to Stig Berntsen, which came for a visit into the brew house, and he's the guy that actually gave me the idea. So and when I thought about it, it sounded very like a very good idea, and so far it looks like it's a good idea as well. So just giving a little stir here. Shouldn't be necessary. I think maybe that I'm going to include it, because it seems like it's taking some extra time to reach the step when this is very close to the set temperature, setup. So I cranked it up 1 degree to 64 just to speed things up. I'm going for 67 for the next one. So and when I'm switching the circuits, this one won't rise anymore anyway. So this sight glass is one of the things I wanted for a long time. So, and the big Brewtech edition, I'm not quite sure of the measurements for it, but you can see it quite good. So I won't see it when I'm doing the circulation the other way, but what the hell, I don't want 2 sight glasses high. I could have it, but I don't see that's as necessary. And sometimes if I'm just doing a single step mash, I'm just going to circulate through the coil anyway to maintain the temp. Oh, it's 63. Then we switch, open and close. And with a push of 3 buttons, I've changed the path. So now I can't see a thing. I'm ramping it for 67. I'm going to start the timer for 20 minutes. So guys, now it's circulates out of here, down to the pump, to the left, and up through this one. And now it's using the round big manifold from SS Brewtech. So it will run here now for about 20 minutes. I've already changed the temp for the HLT for the next step, which is 67. And I can see that I'm almost up at 65 already, so it's ramping very, very fast. So I'm quite happy with this. Another thing, no leaks. No leaks. So I had a couple of leaks during the first tests. So, but I figured them out. I also did a mistake for this two-circuit circulation thing. I placed it this one on the wrong side of the valves, so I wasn't able to do the sparge, fly sparge. I wasn't able to fly sparge with a mistake in the rack. So, but I changed it, and I will be able to do it now. Another thing that I noticed during some water tests earlier this week, if I start the transfer from the mash tun to the boil kettle without removing or taking the lid away, it gets stuck because of vacuum. So I wasn't able to get the lid off, so I had to stop pumping and opening valves to release the pressure. Then it came back again. So I'm already at 67. So for a small batch like this one, I don't see any reason to use the second circuit, actually. So I'm thinking about, and I also see that it's going a bit down. So I've lost about 1 degree for the mash temp. I can see it both for the one in the middle, and also for the one that on the output. Okay, I did some changes now because the temp inside the mash tun was actually going down, so I changed it to going through the coil, and I think I will run it like that for the rest of the day. So I'm already up at 63 again, so it seems to respond very good, and I'm adjusted the temp here again to 63. I'm ramping it now to getting 63 inside here again. So I haven't changed everything yet, so it's about 63 in the top and still 57 in the bottom, in the output. So, but it's working quite good. Some small issues here with the manifold. it's actually getting stuck. So it's blocking the holes, especially the big ones. So I think that could be one of the reasons of the temp going down. So, but the temp inside the mash is holding steady at 63. So so that's not the problem. So a little hectic there, but I'm getting there. We're about 5 minutes away from the next step. Cool to see that it's kind of active on the chat there. So I'm not able to read everything yet, but I'm scrolling back later to have a look. And again, cool that you guys are using the Sunday watching this guy doing a Ballzy move and showing the first brew. Yeah. Now the manifold is working again. I think it was buried into the grain bed when I was changing the circuits. So I need to figure out how to do that properly if I'm going to keep on doing it. Another thing now is that I'm doing a rather small batch, so and the system is responding very fast to the changes. So I don't think it's necessary to do the two circuit thing. So I'm not letting it go again, but it seems like I need to add something here, the heating pad, if I'm going to use that way as well. So we'll see. You learn by doing. So I'm 3 minutes away for my next step. So then I'm cranking up the HLT to 67. I dialed it down again when I had the problems with the decreasing temp in the mash tun. So yeah, I'm running everything open, not any restricting the flow or something, so the chuggers are running on full speed. We can see here that it's not any indications for a stuck mash, so it's starting to clear up as well. So so far a good brew day. And the big question today is will the ventilation work? How much of the will I get outside? I haven't tested this one. This is a hood, a stainless hood that I got for free on Finn. It's like a Craigslist here in Norway, without any motor or anything. Just the motor had burned, so they was going to throw away it, and I just added an own ventilation motor up underneath the roof. So we'll see if it's working and how much change I have to do on it. Is it too close? Is it too high? Yeah, I don't think it's too high, but maybe it's too close. I'm not sure. So yeah, we're getting there. Okay, the step is done. I'm changing the setup to the next one, which is 67. I'm actually dialing it in at 68 because of the notes that I made earlier. It seems like it's getting a bit faster up to the 60 to the set point, and there we go. Tony Gates, which is he's leaving now for breakfast, but he came into the live stream. That's cool because I was in contact with Tony earlier, I think this week, asking about the recipe that I'm brewing today. So because he has been doing it for himself some time ago, and I've chatted a little bit with Tony during my brew curry when I'm done brewing, started doing brewing. So and he's a hello guy, which is helped me a lot, asking about, especially for the old systems when things wasn't that clear for me. So big ups for Tony, and very cool that he stopped by and taking part of this live stream. So thanks, Tony. Okay, things are looking good again. The temperature for the mass is rising. There's a sound. A strange sound. I think it's one of the pumps. Yeah. Not to worry, but it suddenly started. Yeah, I was going to say that the temp is rising. It's almost 65 now. I've set it to, it's going to be 67 for 20 minutes. So I'm starting the timer again when I reach 67. A couple of degrees left. I just have to remember to do things between her. Uh, so I'll start start measuring the hops later. I don't think I need to do it right now, but I'll just have a check. 60 minutes. Yeah. I'm doing a 60 minute hop addition. 15 is Verflock and yeast and nutrients. Then 10 minutes hop addition, and also a whirlpool hop addition. So yeah, it's not. I don't have to think of it yet. So. .5 in the mash. Things are looking good. I started to think, why is the temp on the output going down so much? And of course I'm circulating through the. I've just got one temp sensor. It's one for this circuit, and this isn't used anymore. So that's the reason. So I thought, what the hell is going on? But not a problem. I just adjusted the set temp for the HET down to 67 because I ramped it, like I said, 1 degree extra to make the step faster. And now it's there, it's 67. I now changed the temp for the whole mash tun to 67, and that wasn't many minutes. So then we'll keep it for 20 minutes. And now I'm not going to change the circuit because of the decrease in the temperature. It's circulating well. Starting to clear out a bit darker color. Yeah, it's maintaining the temp very good. Guys, I think I will just go and make myself a cup of coffee. Be right back. Keep an eye on the system for me. I'm back. Seems like I have to have the temperature 1 degree higher. It dropped a little bit, 0.4 or half degree. Not a problem, but anyway. So got a cup of coffee. So cheers. Yesterday, I'm glad I was doing the testing yesterday, because after I stopped the live stream test, I've got some mail from YouTube, the legal department or whatever, because I forgot to turn off the radio. I had the radio in the background, so I think there was about 8 or 9 songs that hey, you don't have permission to use this. So they recognized all the songs. So today no radio, but I'm glad I tested yesterday, so I don't have to, because I just deleted the test videos that was recorded. So no radio today, so no reason to delete afterwards. Yeah. Is there anything else I can talk about when we are waiting? Yeah. The system, as you can see, I don't have. It's hard lines, most of it. I ran the same kind of pump setup on the old system, and about, I think, 5 batches. And when I took everything apart, there was no anything in there left from earlier brews. So I'm doing the in place clean in place process. So I'm circulating and flushing. So I got fresh water into the system, and I also got the waste out of it. So I start by flushing all the pumps and all the valves after I'm finished brewing, and then I'm doing the circulation of the mash tun after taking out all the grains, and also for the boil kettle. I've punched out the hole for a clean in place bowl, which I will not use today, but later. I haven't figured out a strong enough pump to clean it. So if that is working okay, I will try to make maybe something for the mash tun. It got an insulated lid, so I'm not able to make a hole, not for that kind of clean seat wall, but I will see if I mount it on a make something else. I will see. So I've dialed it down to 67.5 in the HLT. So I think I will I will do some testing using this one, the one in the mash tun, as a third sensor into the logics of the pit control. I think that will be quite good. But then I need to be able to add it when I start the mash, because I can't have that one in the loop when I'm just heating the HOT, because that one will be 20, and the logics are taking the average of all those three if I use them. So I will need to program it so I can just include it into the calculation if I'm going that way. So yeah, things are looking good. I will answer some chats now, because I got some time. Smell update. It smells good. I think this smells very good, but if you ask the rest of the house, they don't share the same opinion. I got some comments when I had the brewery down in the basement and even if I closed a couple of doors and had ventilation out of the room, which I was working in, the whole basement was smelling like a Brewday. So now I'm out in the garage and I don't care. It smells good. Okay, as I said, I dialed down the HLT to 67.5, and now the temp in the mash tun is steady at 67. So 1 whole degree higher wasn't perfect. So I'm taking that as a note. This would be much easier this brew day if I just done it in a single step mash, but I wanted to test the 2-circuit thing, and as you've seen, it's not perfect yet. So I need to do some more thinking about that one. it's not a big problem that I don't have to do any big changes to the system if I don't want to use it. So, and also this input in the mash tun, it's the original, so I haven't made this was here all the time, so I can just plug it as when you unpack the mash tun. This one I made because I've swapped how the things are set up. Usually it's HLT, mash tun and boil kettle. Most of the systems are built like that. But I needed to have some meters from the vent hood before the engine, because I bought a cheap motor for the ventilation, and it won't handle when the heat is too high. So I'm hoping that I got about 1 meter and 1.2 meters from the hood to the motor, and I'm hoping that the temp here will have dropped so much that it won't kill the motor for the first couple of brews anyway. So yeah, things are looking good. We're all in the... okay, 5 minutes left. So for this step, then we got one mash step, no, actually two including the mash out. I will do a 10 minutes at 71, so that's next. So I will crank up the HLT in about 4.5 minutes to 71. I will do it to 72 and adjust it a little bit down when I'm getting up against the set temp. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. I think I used 3 nights, 3 evenings getting the PID controller to work, because the PID controller for the PLC, it's a completely different thing than the other one. The Sestos PID that I've been using, that one's got auto tuning. The PLC don't have auto tuning, so I had to do it manually. Also, the Craft Beer Pie got auto tuning in the end when I was using it. I tested those values into the PID controller here and it didn't work at all. So I used 3 evenings before everything settled and started working as I wanted. So, and after getting those things in place, I had to calibrate all the sensors for the temperatures. So it's been some work in the end to get those last things in place. So, but it's kind of cool when it's actually working. I've been looking forward to this day. So, and even cooler that I'm able to share it with you guys. So then you'll able to see the issues that I'm going through during the day as well as for the two circuit thing. It's clearing up quite nice. So the circulation is all good. A couple of minutes left before I crank it to the next step. As you know, I'm using electronic valves for controlling the flows, but I still kept the manual original ones for the kettles. I need to have a kind of safety backup if something happens, so I'm able to close everything. Also, I have one manual out of the coil and also for the whirlpool port. And the reason for that is that I need to be able to control the flow during fly sparch, because then I'm starting the transfer for the boil kettle, and at the same time I'm doing the sparch water. So I will control those so I'm not transferring it too fast into the boil. So I think that I may be changing these ones to electronics, but the price for a electronic valve that is you're able to control not only closed and open but anything between one of those cost more than the other 14 I got, so not on the budget yet. So yep, then we crank it up to 71, and I'm taking it to 72 just to speed up things. Let's see, it's 5 minutes. Okay, I will have a look and see how fast I'm able to ramp it now. I didn't take the time earlier. Yeah. So, sunny day here in Vinterbro. So it's a good day to be in the garage, not out in the sun. I know that I've got a lot of power into the HLT, but still, it's 75 liters of water in there, and I'm changing the temps very, very fast. I'm a bit surprised. The previous system wasn't too bad, but in some way this feels much faster. I can't pinpoint it, but it's almost 70 already. I've been running it for 2 minutes, so I really like this. Seems like it turned out quite good. So I'm hoping the video is turning out quite good. I bought a Logitech webcam, which I'm the one over there. It was I got a tip from Hillbilly Brewery. He tipped me about I can't remember the name of the brewer again. sorry. But I asked that YouTube brewer what kind of cam he was using, and it was the Logitech webcam that I bought yesterday. I paid about, I didn't get the exact same model because they didn't have it, but this was the model was actually bigger in the numbering, so I think it was just a newer model of the same one. So I think I paid about 845 Norwegian crowns or something, and it's screaming 1080p and HD. So I think I will actually buy one more of those to have another angle as well. So, and it seems like the open broadcast system that I'm running, it's a free system application. It's running quite good. No hiccups. I haven't seen the video, so you have to give me some feedback on that, guys. If things are buffering and but the status in YouTube says okay. So and I'm running it using my MacBook. So maybe if this is going to be I get some messages now on the chat that it's not running at full resolution. That could be oh, King of Stands, Corona, Mr. Corona is live. It's one of my friends. He's only drinking Corona. I've quit drinking Corona, Mattis. Okay. The HLT is about 72. Stepping down a bit. I'm almost at 71. So I'm taking down the set temp to 71.5 to maintain it. Yeah, I reached the step. That was 5-6 minutes. 5-6 minutes. That was a good 10 minutes. Okay. I'm keeping it at 72 because the step is so short. It's only a 10-minute step. Okay. A question. The sound. Do you hear all the pumps? I don't think the ventilation will sound too bad. I think it's not too high. So, but I hope that my voice isn't taken down by all the other ambient sound there. So I'm also for the next live I'm going to use external microphone, but it didn't work directly on the MacBook, so I will fix that later. Okay, we are almost ready for the mash out. I've got one step left after this one. That's a 10 minutes run for at 76. This is a 10-minute run for 71. I'm steady as a rock inside the mash tun. The installation is, as many of you know, this is a insulated mash tun. So there's no heat. I can barely feel it. This could be, yeah, 30 something. So seems like it's working pretty good, the insulation part. I forgot what I actually was going to say. That was the intro or something. Forget it. Yeah. I mentioned it in the start of the brew. I'm doing the volumes manual by looking at the scale in the kettles. The plan is to build some platforms for the HLT and the boiling with one of the legs swapped out with a load cell, which will measure the weight of the kettle, and using that to calculate how much water that is inside the kettle. So then the plan is to just enter, like today I was striking with 13.4 liters of water. I could just enter 13.4 and it will transfer 13.4 liters into the mash tun and stop the valve when it's reached to that point. So okay, we are at 71, steady. So I'm pretty pleased with the temp control. So all those hours tuning the PID controller paid off. So I need to get some air in here. Four minutes left. Before we crank it to the last step. So I need to think now, so I don't forget anything. I'm just talking. This cleared out very nice. I'm actually starting to look through. I can see the seal on the other side there. I don't. Yes, I have. Look at that. Woohoo! Cool. I see some comments regarding the quality resolution. It's doing not. I think it may be that it's broadcasting on a lower resolution. So I'm not sure, but I will. This is the first time for everything actually. So I will do some changes. I think I will. I got a computer down in the basement that I could use as a broadcast computer and wire it to the network, not using wireless as I'm doing today. So I see that I'm getting the status from YouTube is yellow. So when I was testing yesterday, it was green. So I'm not sure about it, but I don't do any changes for it now. So I will deal with that later. The cool thing is it seems like working. So okay, how far? We're 1.5 minutes away before we could do the last temp crank. Oops. As I said, I need to get some hops soon. To start measuring. When I do the transfer, I will try. I usually do it like I use about 40 minutes transferring it, but that's been for bigger batches like 60 liters. So I think I will slow it down as much as possible to try to get about 30, 40, 45 minutes for the transfer and and for the spotch. And during that period I'm going to measure up some hops, all the hop additions, and also, oh, where's my row flock tablet? I need to buy Øyvind. Ah, 17 people watching. I didn't dream of that. Just too cool. Okay, we're at it. Then we're going for the last one, which is 76. 76. I'll put it up. 77. I've used 1 degree higher. Okay, I will just run away for a couple of minutes and get the hops and also the world flock tablet. Be right back. Hey, hey! Hops, hops, hops. Now it's getting very clear. I'm at 72 inside. Alrighty. Yeah. Starting to reach the point where I'm going to transfer the mash from the mash to the boil and doing flight sparge at the same time. I'm going to sparge with 17.8 liters of water, giving me let's see, where's the boil? Yeah, pre-boil 26. Yeah, 26. I'm quite not excited, but I'm thinking about the original gravity measurements, because I've used Beersmith to do the calculations and the recipe, and I set the brew house efficiency for 79%. So I'm quite I'm curious about where I will end, because I think this will give me more than 79, but I'm not sure. The estimated gravity, original gravity, will be after the recipe 1055. So we'll see where we end. So I will go for, just to be able to calculate, update Beersmith with the correct percentage. I will stop my sparge when I reach 26 liters, which is my pre-boil. So then I will do the measurement of the original gravity and see how far away from 1055 I am. We're at 75 in the mash, almost ready for the last 10 minute run. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? So, and the plan for the next step in the system for the control is that there is a recipe manager built into the PLC, which I'm going to use for I'm hoping that I'm able to import Beer XML, creating a plan for the Brewday and just execute it, and it will automatically do the changes, transferring and doing the different mash steps automatically. And I will just get pop-up messages like add grain, add 60-minute boil, 60-minute hop addition, 15-minute, and so on. So, but I didn't want to do anything with that before I've been running the manual way, the semi-auto, for some batches. So I think I will do some brewing now to just to get to know the system. So. Okay, we're almost at 76 and we can start the timer. I see that I'm getting 77 from the output of the coil. It's about the same as the temperature. So it's the heat transfer between the coil and the HLT itself seems very good. Giving it a couple of more minutes before I start the clock. .76. I'm chatting here, so we just need to start the timer. We're into the last step, and now I'm taking this down to 76 to keep it. I will take a picture of the sight glass because and put it on Instagram. It's cleared up pretty good. So, if you're following me on Instagram, check out the picture I just posted. It will show you the clarity of the mash. So this is quite cool. Cleared up very good the last couple of minutes. So far so good, as said earlier. Some not issues, but for those of you that have been following me from the start this morning, I stopped using the 2-circuit circulation thing. This is ramping very fast anyway. And I was hoping that I wasn't going to lose too much in the temperature circulating out through the coil to be able to crank this for the next step. So I stopped switching and just have been doing the circulation through the coil, and I've just used about 5 minutes between every step during the mash, all the different mash steps, so it isn't a problem. It's not that big batch today, so that is of course one of the reasons that is going very fast, but the flow is good, so I'm circulating the mash in a very high speed, so it shouldn't be a problem. It's keeping all the temperatures very stable. Not much difference. As I also mentioned earlier, I'm thinking about including the sensor in the mash tun in the calculation for the PID. So I will see if because if the mash is decreasing, it will have influences for the average value that is going into the PID, and it will crank it a little bit. So I'm not sure, but that's one of the things I've been thinking about during this day so far. So I'm 5 minutes away from doing the transfer, so I'm starting to setting up this one. All valves is open. I also underlit when transferring, so I'm opening one of the valves into the what should we call it, a pump cluster. It's 3 valves surrounding the output of the pump, but I'm opening just one of them to be able to get the transfer from the mesh, and I'm running the mesh the opposite way through the pump. The pump will not be running, so it will come into the kettle from the output of the kettle, the same way as I handle it when I have mashing. Yeah. I'm about 3 minutes away. Things are starting to looks like I'm getting ready to do the transfer. You can't see this so clearly, but this isn't the final layout for the user interface, but it's a call it a beta. So I think it will be something like this, but I'm going to add some extra values and information. So, but so far, no hiccups. I'm also indicating that things are running using lamps in the top of the pan, just to have a visual. Instead of, I could have it here on the screen, but I like to have it up here as well. So, yeah. 2 minutes left, then we start transferring. So I'm closing this down a little bit, not a little bit, quite a lot. And I'm also going to close this down, because this will be my sparge water coming out of the coil. So now I'm changing the flow here, so that will start transferring to the boil, and this one will pull water, heated water from the HOT, and push that into the coil and on the top of the grain bed. And as I mentioned earlier today, when I start to transfer, I need to lift the lid, because if I do it without it, I'm not able to take it off. It's pulled down by the vacuum. So it's very, very clear. This is awesome, if I can say that myself. So keeping it steady at 18, 19 people hanging on the stream. That's just cool. I thought I was going to hang out here by myself today, so now I got 19 others with me. So yeah, it's almost ready for cleaning. So yeah, yep, that was the last step. Then we start to transfer. So I need to open that valve. I also need to open that valve, and you can hear that one. And the pump is prime. And I close that one. I will just take that down a little bit. And I almost forgot to take off the lid. Like that. Then I will open that and now you can see that I'm getting just water in the sight glass. So now I'm running. Oh, can't see shit with the glasses. I will keep it an inch of water in top of the grain bed. Looking good so far. And the transfer is maybe a bit slow. Yep. Seems like I've dialed in the transfer rates. I have a lot of water inside the HOT, so covering the coil and so there's a long way down to the elements. So I won't be. It isn't necessary to keep an eye on the water level so I'm not frying the elements. So. Looking good here. Yeah. I think I can slow it down a little bit more. Okay, I've noticed a little design flaw. Okay, how should I do that? Okay, let's do this like this. I found something that is not correct. I will explain it later. Fuck it. Fuck. There's water on the floor. Nice. Okay, you're getting this live. Okay, I wouldn't have. I'm glad I've got tiles on the floor. Fuck it. Okay. Minor issues here. Keeping up again. Okay. That was okay. That was a little bit high. Woo! Action! Okay. I saw something. The temperature was rising in the HOT, and the reason for that is that the output for from the kettle, where the temp sensor is located, is for the recirculation. So when I was doing stopped the recirculation and started the transfer of the sparge water, I didn't circulate through the sensor, past the sensor anymore. So one of them was slowing down, and the other one was heating like a maniac. So the thing I did now is that I swapped the two cables, so I'm running through the sensor as well. So I think I'm just have a look here. It's looking good again. This is only happening live. So I know that I can fix this in two different ways. One of them is adding another sensor for the other port, but I could also make a change to the calculation for the PID, and when I enter the sports mode, it disables one of the sensors, so it won't take any readings from it, and using that in the calculation. So I think that will be the easiest way. So because I don't think I need to add more sensors that I already have. So I have inputs for it, but anyway. So as mentioned, glad I have tiles on the floor here, and I managed to open the wrong valve and pouring the water right onto the floor. So okay, we are in. Have to step it up a little bit. Glasses, I hate them. I can't see without them, but I can. Yeah, the element is almost under water. Or I'm still about 1 inch above the grain bed, and as I said, yeah, this is good. I'm going shooting for 26 liters for pre-boil. Good. It's already dry it up on the floor here. A little bit of water over here. Yeah. Whew. Started to get a little busy there for a moment, but yeah, one of those. Yeah. Just have a note of the problem. And this is the reason that I want to discover all these flaws or things I have to change a bit with a small batch, not going for the 60, 80, 90 liter batch for the first one. So. I've transferred about, I think, seven liters or something. Almost reached. A little bit high on the sparge part here, so I'm just cutting the pump for a minute or two, just to get it in level again. I don't want to get too much water into the mash. It's much more to clean up afterwards, and the grain will be soaked with water that isn't transferred. So I try to keep it as little as possible. As you can see, it's not sure if you can see it, but the manometer is in level, which indicates that there's not a problem with a stuck grain bed here. And and it haven't been any problems with that during the whole brew. So it seems like the false bottom in the mesh tun is working as expected. So and there was not at any point even when I was running the chuggers on full speed that it's going to stack the grain bed. So level is getting down a bit again. It started slowly. Okay, I will start measuring some hops now. First is the 60 minutes. Wait. Hold the toe. The recipe said Pacific Jade for the first hop edition. Wicksteed didn't have that one, so I'm using a halter toe instead, which is kind in the same family as the Pacific Jade. So let's see here. Have made me a table. And for this I'm going, I will just have a look here. Okay. 18 grams for this. This isn't easy. And you're getting it live. 80. And always, they should put the label down here, not on the top. Okay, first hop edition at 60. We'll speed up this. Taking off the glasses now. Yeah, this is 60. So when I start the boil, this is going to be a 60-minute boil. So this is going when we start. So Okay, I think I bring it up to boil, then I do the rest of the hop additions, the measurements, measuring up those. I will do those later, because when it's about 10 minutes left, I will have Amarillo Gold, Simcoe, Continental at 10 minutes left of the boil. Then I will, and at 50 minutes left, I will have the roll flock tablets and some yeast nutrients. And after when I've started the roll pool and the cooling, I will, when I come to 80, when the wort is 80 degrees, I will give another Amarillo Gold, Simcoe and Sentinel hop addition during the whirlpool. So they are going in after cooling it down to 82. I usually whirlpool about 20 minutes, but I think I will do a 30 minutes now, because it's quite a lot of hops that is going into the boil. So to keep it a bit cleaner, let's get this down. I'm about 15 liters in the boil now. So looking clear. I can clearly see the stainless heating element in the wort. So yeah. Any questions? I dropped the glasses now, so I can't see shit. Yes, I can. Whew. A bit hot there. I don't think you can hear it, but there are some fan noise here, and that's actually the fan in the control panel. I bought a 230 volt fan. I could have used a 12 volt low noise, but it isn't a problem. This is it's throwing away a lot of air, so I got to get a nice flow in the panel. Yep, things are looking good here. I think I can turn on the heating element now. Good. Slowly transferring it. The mash tun is keeping the temperatures very well. So even during the sparge, I should, after the recipe, be at 76, and I'm at 75. It's working well. 2 hours, yeah, 1.5 hour left before the 4-hour limit. So because I want this live stream to be stored, archived on my channel. So I noticed that it's a 4-hour limit on that one. So I could stream for longer, but then it won't be archived. It will be deleted when I stop streaming. So, but I think we will get almost ready. So I'm not sure what's happening when I reach the 4-hour limit. So I think I can just stop the stream, then it will archive, and I can start it again, and it will end up like part 2 or something. I'm not sure, but I think it's like something like that. Today I'm also for the first time using not dry yeast. So I bought fresh yeast for the fermentation. So I took out the yeast packages, before I started, so they are here laying and slowly getting up to temp. So I think it's about, yeah, a little bit high. Just put them up here. So, yep. Very slow transfer. I've been doing it slow like this. I think for the last four batches, 4 brews, running it very slow for the transfer, and just to be able to get everything out of the grains. So I think I'll get me another cup of coffee. So keep an eye on the system, guys. Be right back. One of the things I'm kind of miss now during these days, I always have music on, but as I told you earlier, during the testing yesterday, I got some mails from those legal guys in YouTube telling me that I was streaming music that I didn't have the rights to stream. It was something like, do not worry, you haven't done anything wrong, blah blah blah. They even managed to recognize what songs and what band that I was playing, because I had the radio on in the background during the testing. So I usually always have music, but not this time. So maybe I need to have a little thingy in my ear just to hear some music for the future brews. But I got you guys, so it would be how cool to actually have a live with the audience feedback from you, and be able to chat, maybe video feeds. But YouTube won't be the platform for that, so we'll see. I talked a little bit, chatted with Disno, Espen. That would be awesome to have a brew a Brewday, which we are doing at the same time, sharing it. So we'll see. Got a tip there regarding the music. Thanks, Philip. Where did you come from again, Philip? You told me yesterday. So it's cool that you're hanging around for. It's still 15 people hanging around here, and overwhelming. So, how is this going? This is the boring part. I will just have to think so I don't miss out any steps here. But I think this will. And also, I think the temp sensor in the bowl kettle isn't reached The wort haven't reached it yet, so I just have the ambient reading, which is 31, but it's some inches above the underneath it. So. But this is a small batch. Ah, Israel. That's right. Ah, cool, Philip. And you're welcome. I'm not sure if I'm able to. Yeah, I should be able to scroll back into the chat to see it. I will see it on the recording, but I will scroll back and see if there are any questions that I missed out on. So, and I also saw that some of you was getting to know each other from the ones that are viewing. That's cool. So I think Fredrik at Hillbilly Brewery got in touch or got to know about Tony Yates. Tony is, as I said, a big inspiration for me, and he seems like a very nice guy, and he's been very helpful when I've asked him things on the chat earlier. So cool. Speeded up things a little bit here. This one is I was talking and almost forgot the scotch, but I think I'm almost done. Keep that. It's 26. I will keep an eye on it. As I said, I don't want to sparge too much water. I'm not measuring so precisely the accurate amount of water when I'm doing the sparging. The important thing is the pre-boil volume. So then I try to think out and calculate how much water I need to get in here to reach it without soaking it too much. But because the cleanup is much more greasy when this is a soaky mash left in the tap. So I just see that I got the bucket for digging out the mash, the grain. Good point, Philip. Seems like we are bonding more brews together here, so happy to be a part of that. Yesterday I was actually recognized on there's a local beer shop on the shopping center here, which is in Norway is called Gulating. They are selling all kinds of beer. And the guy that is running the shop, I was there and I needed to get some additional hops. I wasn't sure. I got a little. I didn't quite know which one of them, if I should go for another type of hop. So just to be sure, I went there to get that additional hop, and he asked me if, are you the guy that is building that insane system? So he recognized me, so that was kind of fun. So yeah, I'm about 25. I'm hitting for 26, and I'm cutting. I'm stopping the pump now. So now I'm just draining through the last bits, and I think I will end up about 26. You can also see that on the manometer, on the mash tun, that is sinking. This is the level of the inside it. So this is a good pinpoint when you use a kettle like this to see how much liquid there are left in the tun. I keep calling it the kettle, so it's a tun, mash tun, mash tun. Yeah. So I think I'm able to get the most of the liquid out of it, keeping it okay. Another thing that I haven't been testing is the boil off of the kettle. I'm controlling it with a PVM, which actually it's a percentage between 0 and 100. So it's the power to the elements. So I'm yeah, I think this is quite good. So I haven't tested the boil off yet, but I'll adjust it to keep it on a rolling boil, not too big. I think I'm there. I'm killing it and closing that and that. I got some. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't think so. There are some noise in the 24 volts, which are keeping my valves. They are ticking. Not all the time, but when I'm going from one position to another, when they reach the end position, it's clicking. So I've got some tips regarding it. I've grounded the components for the PLC, but I haven't. And also I have to install some resistors, but I haven't done that. So it started to. It's not ticking now. But okay, enough talking. I have to do a reading of the OG, original gravity. Let's see here. Try to not burn my hands off. Okay, I will give it this a stir. Oops, sorry. Should be. Okay. So look at that. It's kind of clear. Of course there are some things in it, but it's turned out pretty clear. So I'll just let that settle for a while. Like that. It's about 40 something. Yeah. But I think we'll crank this open, adjusting the effect for 100%. Power on. I can hear the noise. So next thing now, when I reach the boil, I will add the 60-minute hop addition. I start the timer, and then things should be going for themselves for a while. The thing, I'm not sure if this isn't too bad. It's actually more noise from the pumps than from the ventilation, so shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. What did I say? Yeah. As always, when I do have a brew day, I think I got a lot of time between during the boil, but it's always getting hectic. So I guess the chances for forgetting something is quite big when I'm doing a live stream as well. So I will just start measuring up the rest of the additions after we have reached boil. So I can see when with a small batch like this, the sensor in the kettle, when it's not boiling yet, it's just in the surface of the wort. So as I said, we are about 26 liters for a pre-boil, and I will end up with end of boil 24. So 24. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of hops in it, so I don't think I will be able to get everything out of it. And also I'm using I say I got a question regarding the digital airlock. I'll come back to that, Øyvind. So this is it was my Wi-Fi, but not Wi-Fi, not my wife. It's the first time that I'm not using the hop locker. I've used that on the previous system, but now I'm using the original Brewtech deep tube with the dam, the trub dam. So I haven't used that one before, so it's quite exciting to see here how it's working out. I think also I'm going to start cleaning up this soon. The boil's going okay. Yeah, so I with the hop locker I could run the get the most of the boil kettle out into the fermenter before it started to suck in trub and hops. So I'm not sure how much I'm able to transfer now. So, but for this batch, I'm going for one keg, one Cornelius at 19 liters. That's the goal for the brew. I'm not planning to do any additional bottles. Just transfer it to one keg after the fermentation is done. So if I lose some during the way, this is also because it's the first brew that I ever do on this system with this setup. I wanted to test everything so I know, so I can take action and do it with that in mind for the next brews. So I think there will be a couple of 2, 3, 4 brews with small adjustments before I do anything changing anything bigger. I don't actually think I need to change anything. So I just have to figure out the two circuit thing. So that didn't work quite as expected, but I think it could be because of the small batch. So yeah, but it's ramping quite fast. So yeah. Øyvind asked me about. I'm testing the digital airlock from Plato. I've got it installed on a cider because I wasn't ready with the system, and Plato, the guys at Plato wanted me to test it before they released it. So they gave me a prototype. And I made a cider because made out of cheap apple juice. So I used 30 minutes to make it. And I saw that after 1.5 hours there was some activity, and there was also. During the first night, the activity increased, but the guys at Platos saw that there was something fishy with the readings. So, and this is a prototype that they have 3D printed in their office, so they are not 100% the same all the copies they make. So there are some fishy things with mine. Also, they wasn't sure if the cider is acting a little bit different than beers, but the readings was quite far off. So the feedback from Plato, which came already after some hours, they was right. So there's something wrong with my prototype. So I can see the activity, but the reading isn't correct at all. So, and I didn't want to interrupt the fermentation of the cider, so I just kept it there. So, but I'm taking it back to the Plata guys, and they are doing some fix-ups on it. I didn't, because I'm going to transfer the cider I think tomorrow. So then I didn't have time to take the lock down to them before this brew. So I'm running an ordinary a blow-off tube this time, because I'm going to use the brew bucket from SS Brewtech for this one. Is the 26. I'm not sure how active this yeast will be, so I'm afraid that I will have a blow-off because it's going to be quite full, depending how much I will get out of the boil, which is starting to climb. So for this one, I'm going to use a tube into a bottle with star sap. So, but I think the Plata airlock is quite a good product. So, and I know that because I got the prototype, things can happen. So, and they have been testing it for a long time. So, and getting very good readings. So I'm taking mine back and getting that fixed, and I will try it. I guess the next brew, which will be a beer. I think I will do a pilsner for my second brew, because I've finished the fermentation chambers, so I'm able to maintain a low temps for the pilsner. Starting to reach a hot break. That went well. Quite. Also seems like the ventilation is working as expected. I wasn't sure if the kettle would be just a little bit further. Yeah. Just got a message from Steve. I asked him something about the fresh yeast. I'm not doing dry yeast this time. So I asked him about when I should take the yeast outside of the fridge. Refrigerator. I shouldn't have a problem with this one boiling over, because the level is here. So I've got a long way to the top. Yeah. Okay. Pretty pleased with the Brewday so far. It's awesome to see that. I got from Andreas Vik regarding the blow-off of the brew bucket. So because of just a little headspace, as I photo when I looked at it yesterday. I haven't used the brew bucket, so my worries seems to be legit. So thanks Andreas for confirming that. So I made myself a little blow-off thing yesterday, so I don't have to worry about that. So I think it's my wireless network here that is keeping me from running high resolution. It's been yellow. The status in YouTube has been yellow all the time, green sometimes. When I tested yesterday, it was green all the time. So next time I will keep the computer that is streaming wired to the network, and we'll see here if that's helping out. I think I will hook up a computer just for that. I have a computer laying around in the basement, so I can use for it. Yeah, Øyvind is trying his brew bucket for the first time now, and he's going to transfer directly to the Cornelius, to the kegs, from the brew bucket. It's the same thing I'm going to do, to try to keep it as closed as possible. So I think for my own pleasure, I think it's kind of funny to have you guys following me. So I'm not sure if it's so interesting just seeing me standing here, blah blah blah. You had some. The guys who was watching earlier got a little catastrophe when I was pouring HLT water out on the floor here. But wasn't too bad. Starting to work, get some activity in the surface here. So forgot to drink my coffee. Let's see about still 35. I haven't measured the OG yet. I will get it down to as close to 20 as possible. I think I will start to clean out this in a couple of minutes or more. I will just have the hot break before I do that. Yeah. What else? Yeah. I'm using oxygen to get oxygen into the fermenter. The stone is laying in star sand at the moment, but I think I will just get this into from the top as always. But I'm thinking about installing not a permanent, but a permanent for the brew, for the batch into the fermenter. Especially, I got the It's 64 little Chronicle inside the big chamber. I'm not going to use it this time because of the small batch, but I'm going for a bigger batch for the next brew, and then I will use the Chronicle. So I'm not sure if I'm just going to drop it in all the time, or if I'm going to install it like in the oh, I forgot, what's the bright tanks, the Brewtech bright tanks. They have a port for the stone. So I'll see. But for now, I'm just going to drop it in from the top, crank it open for a minute, yeah, I'm not going to shake it. That's for sure. It's building up some foam here, but as I said, I got 3/4 of the level is down here, so not a problem with boil over. Preparations last night. I cleaned the brew bucket. I haven't used it, so I gave it a proper wash with the PVW, and cleaned it with the fresh water afterwards, plenty of it. Then filled it with the star sand, let it stay for 20 minutes, and emptying it. So I'm soon going to put some more star sand in it, give it a shake, so that will be ready for after boil. I think I can just, instead of bubbling away, I will do the hop additions. For the 15 minutes, I've got one more flock. Puppets and a tablespoon of yeast nutrients to give the yeast some extra power. Feel like Breaking Bad now. My neighbor came into the brew house a couple of weeks ago when I was building things. So when he asked me if I was, oh, I got to boil. I think we'll try about 80. Yeah, we got the boil. Then I start the clock. And the next one is 15 minutes. So I'm setting it at 45. This will be easier when I get it on. Yep, that was another 60 minutes hop addition. Alrighty. Quite the batch is so small, so there are the element is right beneath the surface. Not right beneath, but and when it's doing, it's pulsating for on and off, so you can see the activity. Test. It's about, I think, smells good anyway. Yeah, this one was the 15 minutes. Then I will have a 10 minutes of 34 grams. 10 minutes Amarillo Gold, Amarillo, and Simcoe, and Sentimental. What's that? 35 of Amarillo. Did I put the scissor? Could just open it in the end, of course. Well, I see one thing, the ventilation condense. It's leaking. Yeah. Didn't come as a big surprise. And it's the Cinco. Same ones. Sentimental 23. Quite a good boil now. It's not a big leak, but it's dripping. I don't think this one will survive too much. So, American Pale Ale, Disno. Disno asked me about Bear Star. Then we got the Whirlpool of Amarillo Gold. This is Amarillo. Also additional 35 for the Whirlpool. This is the part that I'm talking about, which I'm taking time. And all of a sudden it's getting stressful. So another 35. As long as I don't get any leaks into the system, I'm good. But it's dripping quite good. It's pulling off very good. But this was simple 0, and the last one is 33, another 33. Oh, Sentinel. Yeah, that's it. The 15, which is just a whirl flock and yeast nutrient. The 10 minutes and the whirlpool. Taking these inside now into the fridge. Refrigerator. The ventilation here is it's working, but all the condense is going in out of the ventilation motor. It sounds like a water pump, so we'll see if it survives. Yeah, I'll crank so stars and open. closing the valve is a good thing. Yep. Very good there. What's the temp here? That is still 30. Still 30 degrees in the... I'm not in a hurry. I will need to do something with this one. So if anyone get any tips for me, I hoped that it was going to most of the will end up here, and that I have to actually drain the hood, but it's not it. Maybe this is quite hot, so hot. But yeah. Maybe I should be able to drain it, make a drain or something in the pipe, keeping it from flooding. I need to do some research on it. There's not anything from the boil inside the room, so it's working, but it's the water conduits that is a minor issue right now, and I'm most afraid for the motor. It's a Biltema cheap thing, the biggest they have, but I'm not sure how it will handle the moisture. I've been doing some testing now regarding the boil. I'm about 80% now on the control. I had it down for 70, but it was not too much activity in the boil, so I cranked it up a little bit. Now it's looking more like it should. So yeah, I got some drips on my hand when I was here, but it's from that one. I thought, what the hell is it coming through the roof? But there are no leaks in the roof. 80% boil. The notes I'm taking is not only for the next manual brew like this, but I need them when I'm automating things. So then I want when the boil is reached, the PLC will automatically step it down to 80%. So and one of the things that I'm hoping to be able to is to calculate the boil off when I got the load cells underneath the boil kettle, because then I can measure how much it shrinks and adjusting it maybe around that. So I will not do that during I think it's a lot of water out there. It sounds like one of the pumps. I will do that as a tuning part with just water. So I think that will be one thing. I will do some tests with a small amount of water and a full batch to see if it's a big difference in the power I need to put on it. Yeah, how is it? We are 23 minutes left before the 15 minutes. Okay, I see that. I've been live streaming for 3 hours and 43 minutes. I know there is a 4-hour limit. Do anybody know what happens when I reach the 4 hour? Does it just shut off? Or do I need to stop the stream to make it archive it and then start it again? So if anybody knows, just comment in the chat, so then I don't have to Google it myself now. I think I will start cleaning up town. I used one for laugh for one of the circuits, and I used the manifold for the other one. So I'm not sure how to do it in the future, if I'm going to use both, or what I'm going to do, but we'll see. Should have additional buckets. What the hell? I just laid on the floor. Oh, I put it here. Not too bad. That's closed. This is the boring part of the brew. Not so much grain this time, but I'm using a small IKEA thing like this. I'm doing it very careful not to scratch the side walls and making scratches, but then I don't get too much of the liquid. I haven't been making bread or something from the leftovers yet. I haven't been reusing the yeast because I wanted to get into all other parts of brewing before doing the additional stuff. So, but I think I'm gonna make some bread soon. I don't want to do it this time either. Sometime. But I'm thinking about collecting, reusing the yeast maybe now. Almost done. 10 minutes ago. Got a question regarding a handheld camera for the into the kettles. So I don't have one at the moment. I think the boil is turning out quite good. The boil off. So I think 80% effect on the element is the where I should be. So just take out even more. This is heavy. Alrighty, I'm 15 minutes to go before the 15-minute addition. So, okay, I think I will stop the stream for a minute to keep it to make it archive it, because I'm getting close to the 4-hour limit, and as I said, I'm not sure what happens when I reach 4 hours, so I think I will do that. So hang in there, guys. I'm testing if this is actually working.